Most fish keepers are going to diagnose their fish completely wrong. If you see white spots, you dump in medication. You see gasping, you buy an air stone, then your fish dies. Why? Because you're treating symptoms and not the cause of what's actually wrong with your tanks. Today we're throwing away all the forum advice. I'm going to teach you how to diagnose your fish rather than play the guessing game. We're going to go through step by step the same way that a vet would diagnose your cat or your dog. I'm going to show you the 5 early signs that your fish are sick, signs most people ignore until it's too late. But more importantly, I'm going to teach you how to properly diagnose, know when to use antibiotics, know when to use water changes, or when to just leave your fish alone entirely. The first phase is your symptom phase. First, you have to identify the symptoms of the distress. This is the most important step, the very top of our process. Most people wait for pine coning or huge fin rot, and by then the game is over. So here are the 5 signs that you're missing right now. Sign 1, feeding. Is your fish's feeding habits different? If the fish normally attacks the food suddenly, but now they're spitting it out or they're ignoring it, this is the first day you're noticing something's off with your fish. Sign 2, are your fish's fins clamped? That means when they're stuck to their body. This is usually a sign of stress. If they aren't displaying their fins, they're in some type of pain or stressful situation. Flashing, this is when your fish are what looks like they're scratching themselves on gravel and decor. This is usually the sign of a parasitic infestation. You get a bug bite, you're gonna scratch it, it's irritated. Your fish get the parasite, they're gonna be a little irritated too. Sign 4, are they isolating themselves? Are they hiding in a corner? Fish are social creatures. So if they're leaving the school, it's usually because they're feeling vulnerable and they know something's wrong with them. If you see a fish that's normally hanging out with everybody, it's by itself, you've got a problem. If you want to have fewer of these moments, make sure you hit subscribe. That way you'll see all my guide videos, you can catch problems early, and you can keep your tanks low stress, you can just enjoy your fish. But now you know the 5 signs you look for, but don't just go pouring medicine in your tank yet. I'm going to give you the 3 questions that you should ask yourself to find out which path and plan of attack you should follow. First path is water quality. The symptoms occur suddenly with most of your fish affected, and it's all different fish species in the tank. Look at your tank, happening to everyone, and it started suddenly. They all start acting weird. This means that they're not sick. It's not an infection, because those takes periods of time and usually only affect a handful of fish, if not only 1. Everyone gets sick at once. It's an environmental crisis, and it's usually a water quality problem. If you were to treat this with antibiotics, it wouldn't really help your fish. You'd just be killing off beneficial bacteria, which would stress them out even more and cause more issues on your tank. Antibiotics also can reduce oxygen in the tank. So medicating pulls oxygen out, which again stresses our fish, and they can suffocate if it's an ammonia or nitrite problem. You've identified the cause, you can improve the condition now. Test your water. Do an immediate water change. Stop feeding. Usually it's an ammonia problem, chlorine got in the water, you need a water change. It's a nitrite spike. Your heater's malfunctioning. Your filter stopped working and there's bacteria building up in it. Anytime I have a problem with my fish tanks, I start a water change regardless. I instantly start a siphon, getting that water out and putting fresh water in. 90% of the time, this is all it is. And this can help you where you're not having to spend money on medicine. It's as simple as draining water, adding fresh water in. I personally would say keep some API stress coat on hand, just as a little extra when you're dechlorinating your water, because the aloe in there can really help reduce their stress. Thank you to our channel affiliate Boost Plant. Beginner-friendly options. They tell you what type of light to use. Make sure you check out the link in my description to help support me and them. The second path. This is when symptoms occur gradually. The number of fish slowly increases. It immediately started off with 1 fish of 1 species. Some fish are unaffected. This is the tricky one. If it started with 1 fish and then 2 or 3 days later, more fish, and it's only hitting 1 specific type of fish, it's most likely a bacterial, a virus, or a parasite. Those are the only 3 illnesses we really have to deal with in this hobby. Parasites a little less, because unless you're getting wild caught fish, it's harder to get those in your tank. Diseases are often spread species, or through close contact. This is an outbreak, just like when we get infectious disease. This is when you use medication. What kind of medication? That's when things get a little difficult. If it looks like your fish swam through a thing of salt, it's most likely ick. This is the one parasite we do deal with a lot. Put an ick medication in there. I have a whole playlist on medicines. I will link at the end of this. You can go watch that. If it looks like there's little cotton balls going on your fish, that's a fungus. You can need an antifungal medication. If there are red sores or your fish fins are rotting, it's most likely bacteria. Diagnose the disease involved, and you're going to want to apply the suitable remedy. Take the steps to prevent further outbreaks, meaning if you have to quarantine your fish or treat the whole tank if it's a parasite. Ick, always nuke the whole tank just to be safe. If it's something like cotton wool or a bacterial infection, take take the infected guys out, put them in a hospital tank, treat them in there. Keep an eye on everybody else. Make sure they're okay. If you notice other ones showing the same symptoms, remove them, treat them separately too. The third path, and this one's going to be the hardest for new fish keepers that really care about their fish. So what do you do if the symptoms are limited to a small number of fish, or you only see the signs on one fish and nothing is spreading? If just one guppy, for instance, is getting skinny, he's acting weird, everyone else seems fine and it's been a couple weeks, you may panic and treat the whole tank with meds again. Remember, remain calm. Don't go randomly throwing things in your tank because that can cause its own issues. So do a water change just to be safe. But if the symptoms remain isolated and aren't spreading after about a week, we want to look at things that we classify as other causes. Things like old age. Is there a genetic issue? Is there a deformity in the fish? Is your fish's spine bent like this? Is there bullying or stress? Observe your fish. Do you see two fish fighting all the time? There could be an internal tumor or something else going on. And unfortunately, you can't cure genetics with medication. This advice is a critical thing. Isolate the fish and observe. Move the fish to a smaller tank or even put it in a breeder box. Watch the fish. If it gets better, it was bullying. If it stays the same, it could be genetics. But don't ruin your main tank water just for one fish if it's a genetic defect. Unfortunately, the dark side, but it's also important. This is when you have to decide if it's more humane to euthanize your fish or let it live out their life. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that all living things experience pain and stress. We see how much stress does to fish. We see what it does to it drives them crazy. It kills their mental state and healthy state. If you have a fish that is in isolation, badly injured, or they're suffering with no signs of recovery, you want them to suffer. As with our cats and dogs, you're most likely going to want to euthanize them. Now, if you don't want to do it yourself, you could have a vet do it or a friend do it. Easiest way is with clove oil. It's the most humane way, but just don't think about it too much. Now, if you're perfectly fine with your fish having a bent spine and it's not showing any signs of stress, you're perfectly good to leave in a tank. I had a female guppy that had a bent spine like this. She lived out a whole 2 years after her spine bent after giving birth too many times. You don't have to put your fish down. But if you notice that they're not eating, they're acting weird, it might be time, just like it is with cat and a dog. And you just get the clove oil, you follow dosing instructions, you put the fish in there, and they essentially just go to sleep. Next time you see a sick fish, don't guess. Follow this. If it's sudden and widespread, do a water change. If it's gradual and spreading, that's when you look for medications and you identify what type of medication you need. If it's isolated to one fish, quarantine the fish, observe it, figure out your next steps from there. If path 2 is where you narrow down for your fish, I have a whole video on fish medicines. I run through every type of fish medicine there is. There's some right there. I will link that at the end. And of course, I will also leave a playlist on sick fish and videos I've done on those as well. If you choose to click those, I'll see you over there. And if not, I will catch you guys in the next video.